I really need to stop washing my hair on the same day that I start a vlog because this is what happens. Heyo, it's Oishi, welcome back. Happy Monday. It's actually 6:23 p.m. on a Monday, and I didn't have class today because it's the Easter weekend, so no school. But this coming week is actually going to be my last official week of high school English class ever, which is kind of insane to me. So I thought it's such a monumentous occasion, may as well just vlog it. I am reading a couple of things for my English class that I will probably be finishing up this week. Should I have closed the curtains? Because I feel like that's gonna throw everything off. I'm too lazy, so we're gonna go with it. The first thing I'm reading is Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. This is my ISU novel. There were a number of different novels to choose from, and this was the one that I had already been anticipating reading at some point, so I thought, why not just read it for English class? A very abridged summary of this story is that the book follows multiple generations of the same Korean family living in Japan, so they're Korean immigrants. It is all of the ups and downs of this family over multiple decades. It is super good. I am really enjoying it. I'm reading this with about 5 to 6 other people in my class, and every 2 weeks we get together and we talk about the section of the book that we were supposed to be reading. I am on the last section, so I'm going to be finishing that up this week because the final book talk that we're going to be doing is on Friday. I will probably get more in depth into my thoughts on this book as the vlog continues, as I continue reading it, but right now just know that it's really good. Like, it's kind of astoundingly good. And I'm very much enjoying it. The second thing I'm reading for English class is Hamlet. This is the Shakespeare that I'm doing this year. Actually, I'm not at my homeschool right now. I'm at virtual school, and so I'm not with my homeschool teachers or any of my homeschool classmates. So technically my homeschool actually doesn't read Hamlet, but my virtual class is. So this is what's going on. I'm enjoying Hamlet for the most part. We're kind of watching the movie more than reading it for time reasons. Because of this virtual quadmester format, everything's really squashed together, so we have to get through things very quickly. So my teacher puts on the movie with the live transcript so we're able to follow along. I'm too much of a dumbass to be able to follow along with the movie, so I put the actual play beside it so that I can read and follow along. So I'm kind of treating the movie as an audiobook. Again, I'll talk more about this when we continue reading it in class. And the last thing that I am currently reading is not for school, it's just for leisure. It's Like a Love Story by Abdi Nazamian. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to read this week because I probably will be very caught up with Pachinko and Hamlet, but hopefully I'll be able to get around to this as well. It's already pretty late in the day. I am hoping to read a little bit of Pachinko today because I want to be able to finish it quite soon. I think we're going to get the finalized version of our final oral essay, all the details of that tomorrow, so I want to be able to finish it so that I can get a lot of the planning of like my script and stuff out on Wednesday, because Tuesday I have too many things going on. Long story short, I want to try and finish this rather soon. I'm going to be reading some of this tonight, but I also have this overwhelming urge to rewatch Parasite, like right now. My friend just watched Parasite for the first time today, and she and my other friend, we were all texting each other about how amazing that movie is, and now I want to rewatch it. I was already rereading the screenplay. I'm pretty sure I read like half of the screenplay a year ago, and then I forgot to finish it because other things got in the way. I started rereading the screenplay. I read the screenplays of my favorite movies far too often to be considered healthy, so now I want to rewatch it. There is a high possibility that I will rewatch Parasite tonight. Are there a million other movies that I could be watching? Yeah, but if it's not Parasite, I don't want it. The hair is just not going to be it this entire week. Happy Tuesday. I am currently in English class. We are in a breakout room discussing what our topics for our final oral evaluation are going to be. So our final evaluation is going to be talking about both Hamlet and our ISU novels together. So for me, that's Hamlet and Pachinko. We have to talk about the theme of identity because that is a big theme in both Hamlet and in every single ISU novel, but we also get to choose one other theme, and I chose power because I think there are some interesting things to be said about power in Pachinko, things like the power that men have over women, the power that the colonizers have over the colonized, the power that the rich have over the poor. I think it'll be an interesting topic to explore for both Pachinko and Hamlet, because there are some definite power struggles happening in Hamlet as well. I didn't read last night like I was planning to, but I also didn't watch Parasite. See, I exercised self-control and I did not watch Parasite. However, I did write instead of read. So It's funny, like when I'm supposed to be reading, I suddenly want to write, and when I'm supposed to be writing, I suddenly want to read. I have a really busy day today. After this class, I have tutoring. I tutor some students in French, and then I also have a business program meeting, which is like 2 hours. So essentially, by the time all of my meetings are done on Tuesday, it's like 8. And I'm tired and I don't want to do anything. So I will probably be reading a lot tonight, and I know I said that last night, but I definitely will be this time because I don't have the brain power to do anything else. Oh my goodness, things are getting so spicy. He just murdered someone. You're gonna see me wear this hoodie the entire week, and you're not gonna say a word about it. Good morning, it's Wednesday. I am currently in calculus, which is so much fun, just unbelievable amounts of fun. We're taking a break between our first and second lesson, so I thought I'd let you know that I am 88% of the way into pachinko, and I have so many thoughts. Most of them are very positive. This book is just so devastating at times. It makes me so sad to read, but I just can't stop. It's the good kind of pain, where you're reading something and you know it's gonna hurt you, but you just keep going because you need to see what happens next. Yeah, that kind of pain. I am gonna try my best to finish it off tonight because I really want to get started on my script for my final presentation. I will talk a little bit more about the book later on. I'm not gonna have time to go in depth right now because we're gonna go back to class very soon, but yeah, I just thought I'd let you know that I am making progress and that I am really enjoying it still. Every year, I choose violence against myself simply by reading a book for English class, and this year is no different. So I finished Pachinko, and I am suing for emotional distress. Min-Jin Lee, you will be hearing from my lawyers. You will not be, I don't have lawyers. Yeah, I finished off the last bit of it, and overall, the book is absolutely wonderful. From start to finish, it is this beautiful, sweeping, all-encompassing picture of immigrant life, of what it's like to be a colonized person living in a colonizer's world. I will say that this last section that I read, I didn't love as much as the other sections that I read before it, and that's not to say I didn't enjoy it, because I very much did. It's just that because the story follows different generations, I think it's 4 generations, basically how it works is that we have one couple, these characters, they grow up, they have a family, and then those kids grow up, they have their families, and then we follow those kids, they grow up, and so on and so on. And so each different generation has their own set of side characters and own problems and things like that. In the last section for the last generation that we're following, I didn't love the side characters as much as for some of the other generations, but I still really enjoyed reading about them. They weren't some of my favorites that the book had. The final chapter of this book absolutely blew me away, killed me, emotionally drained me. Again, Min-Jin Lee, I am suing for damages to my soul. Now that I've finished it, I think I can get started, like really started on the script that I'm trying to write for the final presentation. There is so much to say about this book, and we do have a very short time limit. The themes I chose, I think I mentioned before, was power and identity, and there's definitely a lot that I could pick from this and talk about. The way that identity plays into this book is really big. The characters are Korean who are living in Japan, and obviously a lot of hardship does come with that. Historically, there's been a lot of discrimination, but not only is it just the outward forces that make their identities hard for them and make them dealing with their identities hard for them, it also comes from within themselves. So it's really interesting to see how different characters deal with their identities. Some characters who want to hide it more than others, some characters who are basically owned by their identities. And of course we have the power that comes into play as well. Not only does their situation and the place that they're living in and the people around them have power over them, but the way that their identities also have power over them in ways that they may not even realize themselves, because it's just so ingrained in them to be afraid and not enjoy who they are as people. It's just, there is so much to talk about, and it is so good. I gave this 5 stars on Goodreads, but I will say that it's probably closer to like 4.5, and that's not on the book, that is completely on me. Here's the thing. I am currently in a reading slump. I've been in a reading slump for like 2 months now, and it's super fun. So there's that, and there's also the fact that I am a massive debilitating procrastinator. So a lot of the times I would leave reading this book to the very last moment, aka the last day that I could read it before I had to talk about it the very next day. So while I did get drawn into it, every time that I did start reading it, I was there, I was here with the characters, I was here for the story, but I was also very conscious of the fact that I was on a schedule, on a very tight schedule, that I had to finish the section that I needed, so that probably hindered my reading experience a little bit. That's probably why I'm gonna knock half a star off. It's not against the book, because this is so much of a 5-star novel, it's kind of funny. It's like, thinking about it, it's like, it's definitely a 5-star novel, but I'm gonna knock half a star off because I suck as a person. I know I want to reread this at some point. There are just some books that as soon as you finish them, you know that this is a rereader, like you are going to get back to that book at some point, and I am definitely feeling that with Pachinko. This book broke my soul. I don't know how many more ways I can say that. Please, if you have not picked this up, I highly recommend it. Also, a fun little information tidbit for you is that Pachinko is being adapted into a show. Currently, I think they're shooting in Victoria or Vancouver, I think. Also, I don't know if this is true or not, but when you search up Pachinko TV series and look at the cast, Yoon Yo-jung is listed there, who played the grandma in Minari, and also she's done a massive amount of other things. I feel like I have to say that. She's not just been in Minari, she's been in so many other things, and she looks like a powerhouse. She's listed as a cast member, so I don't know who she would be playing. Maybe like one of the characters in their older years, or maybe one of the older characters in general. Either way, I'm excited. Even though I'm new to her, like I've just been introduced to her, I loved her in Minari and I totally want to see her in more things. Maybe I'll reread this book when the drama comes out. I don't know when that's gonna be. It's probably like next year sometime. I also don't know how it's gonna be released, so hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on it. I really want to be able to get my hands on it because there is so much potential for this book to be a drama. Like I could totally see it, and it could be a really good adaptation. Oh, while I'm here, why don't I talk a little bit about Hamlet? We are almost done Act 4, so things are heating up, getting spicy. One of the big things that we're talking about as a class is whether or not Hamlet is truly mad, because in the beginning of the play, as he's formulating his plan to get back at King, what's his name? Claudius, I think? Yeah, for potentially killing his father. He's saying that he's gonna act mad, but at some point you have to ask yourself, are you acting, sir? Or is this really just you now? We're also talking about how his madness could be a symptom of his depression, because this boy is depressed as hell. Like, he is not having a good time, and we're talking about like how instead of madness per se, it could be, what's it called? Psychotic depression? He as a character is really fun to discuss because there is so much to him. On one hand, he is whiny, but on the other hand, it may be because of all the depression and psychosis, and also because he has this big master plan that he's trying to enact, but things are going wrong. My man killed a dude with no hesitation, so I'm gonna work on my script. Also, something that we need for the script is to be able to connect the themes that we chose to a third text, like a text-to-world connection, and I think the connection that I'm going to use is to the rise of anti-Asian hate crimes, which have been happening for a while now. I think the text I'm going to use is Eugene Liang's documentary, Almost. I think it's called We Need to Talk About Anti-Asian Hate. It's on the Try Guys channel, and I am going to watch that right now and see what I can pull from it, see what I can learn. I'm going to link that down below. I've wondered if I should link important things like like social justice-y things in my description before, and I always thought, well, no one really watches my videos, so I feel like it wouldn't really help to link anything if no one's watching it. But then again, I also thought, I mean, I link dumb things for no reason, so I may as well link important things as well, because even if one person stumbles across it and clicks on it, that's worth it. So that'll be linked down below. The video is also a fundraiser, and I think you can still donate. Yeah, you can still donate, so that'll be down below if you want to check it out. Those are my thoughts for now. Hamlet, we're still heading through it. It's interesting to say the least. Pachinko, really enjoyed it. 4.5 stars, but I'll round it up to 5 on Goodreads. Hi, it's Thursday. Actually, Thursday is almost over. It's like 10:15 p.m. on Thursday. I just didn't have much time to vlog today until now, but many things have happened. Number one is that I did my final calculus assignment, so I'm essentially done calculus for the quad. We finished grade 12 calculus. Yay! So that took up a large portion of my evening. Another thing that happened is we finished Hamlet in class today. I would say I really liked it for the most part. We read Acts 4 and 5 today, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think this ending was as dramatic as some of Shakespeare's other endings were. Like, I'm thinking on some of the other things that I've read from him. I definitely wasn't as into this ending as I was for something like Macbeth. I think Macbeth is still my favorite Shakespeare that I've read. Even Othello, to some extent, felt a little bit more dramatic than the Hamlet ending. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the Hamlet ending. There was a really fun duel, and I was very much invested during the duel, but I think the things surrounding the ending were just a little bit less dramatic than I'm usually used to with Shakespeare. I still had a lot of fun though. Overall, I think I'm gonna give Hamlet 4 stars. Again, I did enjoy it a lot. It's not my favorite Shakespeare. Macbeth still has that title, but I think it's a very close second. I think it's like neck and neck with Othello. Romeo and Juliet is just at the bottom. Okay, it just is. I watched the video We Need to Talk About Anti-Asian Hate, which was very, very good. There was so much good information in there, just stuff to learn and educate yourself on, and there's also a lot of stuff that I think I could include in my video essay. Speaking of the video essay, I really need to get a move on that script because my thoughts are still very, very messy right now. I have little pockets of things that I want to talk about, but I need to be able to clean it up and make it a little bit more coherent. Not to mention that I also need to find specific moments from Hamlet that I want to talk about, because for the most part I know the specific moments I want to use from Pachinko and from the We Need to Talk About Anti-Asian Hate, but it's Hamlet that I need to focus on right now. Because it's the last thing I finished out of the 3, I'm gonna need some time to go back through it and figure out which moments I want to use. It's almost 10:30 now, and I'm really tired, but I know that I really need to do this. So I think what I'm gonna try to do tonight is to do just that, is to go through Hamlet and find the parts that I want to use and to clean up the script so that I can actually put it into different sections and have a workable outline that I can then go off of and expand on. I'm basically going to have a free period tomorrow during my normal calculus class. It's going to be a work period for everybody who hasn't finished the assignment yet, so I am probably going to use those 2.5 hours to write this script. Not probably, definitely, I have to, because it's due tomorrow. Tomorrow is also going to be the last book talk for our ISU books, so there's actually going to be 2 discussions tomorrow. The first is we're going to get together with our book club groups and talk about our specific books and the endings to them, and then we're going to get together with the other people in the class who chose the same themes as us. So I'm going to talk to about 3 or 4 other people who also chose power, and we're just going to discuss the role of power in our respective ISU books. Should be fun, and I think tomorrow is going to be a shorter class too, because that's not going to take the full 2 hours. It's probably just going to be an hour, which is nice because tomorrow is the last day before spring break, which we are finally going to have. It got moved this year because of the panoramic, but we're finally going to have it, and I am more than excited because I really need a break. That's really all I have to say right now. Hamlet finished, enjoyed it enough. Pachinko, gonna be discussing that tomorrow. I'm probably gonna have to write a few notes out of things that I want to specifically discuss. But other than that, we gotta get down to writing that script. Essentially, I'm gonna make it like a video essay that I would upload on this channel. The only difference is that instead of doing a voiceover, I'm gonna actually sit in a chair and deliver to the camera because I think it'll be a little bit more appropriate for an English class because I think my teacher and my classmates will like want to see my face. The script is gonna get done tomorrow and I will probably edit over my break. Good morning, it's Friday and I've got a script to write. I think I might do a time lapse of me writing the script because that might motivate me to actually sit down and write it and not waste time. I found that helped for when I was taking calculus notes to do a time lapse because I knew I was going to be in the vlog, so I was actually doing it. So I think I'm going to also do that for the script. I've got 2.5 hours to do this thing. Let's see just how much I can do.
March winds and April showers make way for sweet flowers, and then comes monumental. March winds and April showers, romance will soon be ours, an outdoor paradise for two.
Alright, I had my lunch break and I thought I'd give you a little update of where I'm at with the script. I literally only did the first part. Like, my first point, I got that all done. And then I got the pachinko part of the second point basically finished. I think I might need to go back over it just to make sure it's okay. And then I have the notes for the pachinko section for the third part done. I also have the timestamps from the We Need to Talk About Anti-Asian Hate all laid out here so I can insert them into the actual script. That's where I'm at. I'm nowhere near done, which I always underestimate how fast I can do work. I also overestimate my ability to be concise. I don't have it. I don't have that ability. I'm really scared that this is gonna be over 7 minutes. I read this part out and timed myself just as an experiment, and it was like 3 minutes long. So yeah, that's a problem. I'm probably gonna just write to my heart's content and hand it in, and then when I actually go to make the video, I will edit and try to take out things that don't need to be said, because I don't think I have the brain power for that right now. I just need to get the ideas down. So obviously I'm not done, which means that I'm probably gonna have to do this after class, which I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't have to because it is so close to the break and I just want to be able to relax, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Class starts in about 10 minutes. We're gonna have some discussions. This is where they would be a family even if they didn't know it. Yeah. When he said that Noah came even during the years where he wasn't with them, he had been his father, in a way. Much more than Hansu ever had. Their family starts to revolve around pachinko parlors. In my head, it's kind of like how they will always have that Korean identity to them, and that it is a good thing, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it, especially for a lot of the lives of a lot of the characters. Hamlet only survives for as long as he does because of the power he has. If he was any lesser born, Claudius would have just killed him. He spends the majority of the play being depressed and psychotic, so that's not gonna go away just because he's killed Claudius and now has the crown. He's still gonna have that, and like I said, he's Fortinbras's foil, so if Fortinbras is level-headed and knows what he's doing, Hamlet absolutely does not. Yeah, that probably lends to his existentialism. Yeah, I think it's a fun theory, but I don't hold much stake in it. Absolutely not, after he killed her father? I feel like there was way too much, like, back and forth toxicity, and it was only hurting Ophelia. Class is over and I got some good news. It turns out the script is not actually due tonight. Well, it's due tonight, but you don't have to hand it in tonight, which means that you can hand it in sometime over the break, which means that I'm not working tonight. That was it. That was my final English class, well, final official English class of high school. We just have 2 days after the break where we're gonna do all our presentations, and that's it. Throughout high school, English class has definitely been one of my favorite classes, and it's kind of crazy to think that it's over, that I'm not gonna have another high school English class, and I don't even know when or if I'm gonna ever have another English class again. I hope that I can take some English classes in uni, but we'll see. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know, have you read Pachinko or Hamlet? What are some things that you read for English class? Also, what's your favorite Shakespeare? If it's Romeo and Juliet, keep that to yourself. If you enjoy this sort of stuff and you want to see more of it from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I make new videos every Friday. Also, I'm on platforms, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and Letterboxd, those links will be in the description down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!